Hello everyone, welcome to Program Your Life. How can you get in the specific state where the universe will allow you to attract money or anything? You might think that this is quite difficult, or you might not know how to do it. But sometimes manifesting comes down to the person you are. If you're a specific type of person, then you'll want to manifest in a specific type of way. Say I was trying to manifest something that required me to be nervous a lot of the time, but I'm a laid-back person, or vice versa, then that's not going to work. Louise Hayes really breaks down in this meditation how to actually manifest by being the person you are, by visualizing what is concurrent with you. I love this meditation. It's helped family and friends, so let's dive right in.
Visualization is also very important, and there are many techniques you can use. Dr. Carl Symington, in his book Getting Well Again, recommends a lot of visualization techniques for people with cancer, and they often yield excellent results. With visualization, you create a clear, positive image that enhances your affirmation. Many of you have written to me about the kinds of visualizations you do along with your affirmations. The important thing to remember about visualizations is that they must be compatible with the kind of person you are. Otherwise, your visualizations will not work. For instance, a woman with cancer pictured the good killer cells in her body attacking the cancer and killing it. At the end of the visualization, she doubted whether she had done it correctly and didn't feel that it was working for her. So I asked her, "Are you a killer person?" And she answered, "I personally don't feel good about creating a war in my body." So I suggested that she change her visualization to one that was a little more gentle. I think it's better to use images like the sun melting the sick cells, or a magician transforming them with his magic wand. When I had my cancer, I used the visualization of cool, clear water washing the diseased cells out of my body. We need to do visualizations that are not so offensive to us on the subconscious level. Those of us who have family or friends who are sick do them an injustice by continually seeing them sick. Visualize them well. Send them good vibrations. However, remember that getting well is really up to them. There are many good audio tapes with guided visualizations and meditations that you can give them to help them through this process, if they are open. If not, just send them love. Everyone can visualize. Describing your home, having a sexual fantasy, imagining what you would do to a person who hurt you, are all visualizations. It's amazing what the mind can do. Number 5. The next step is to praise yourself. Criticism breaks down the inner spirit, and praise builds it up. Acknowledge your power, your God self. We are all expressions of the infinite intelligence. When you berate yourself, you belittle the power that created you. Begin with the little things. Tell yourself that you are wonderful. If you do it once and then stop, it doesn't work. Keep at it, even if it's 1 minute at a time. And believe me, it does get easier. The next time you do something new or different, or something you are just learning and you're not too adept at, be there for yourself. It was a big thrill the first time I spoke at the Church of Religious Science in New York. I remember it very well. It was a Friday noon meeting. People wrote questions and put them in a basket for me, the speaker. I brought the basket to the podium and answered the questions and did a small treatment after each one. After I finished, I walked away from the podium and said to myself, "Louise, you were fantastic, considering this was the first time out. By the time you do this 6 times, you're going to be a pro." I didn't berate myself and say, "Oh, you forgot to say this or that." I didn't want to have the second time be something that would frighten me. If I beat myself up the first time, I would beat myself up the second time, and I would dread speaking in the end. And after a couple of hours, I thought of what I could change to improve. I never made myself wrong. I was very careful to praise myself and congratulate myself for being wonderful. And by the time I had conducted 6 meetings, I was a pro. I think we can apply this method in all areas of our lives.
Hello everyone, welcome back. So we're talking about manifesting from the perspective or the person you are. Louise Hayes asked that cancer patient when she visualizes the cancer cells being killed by antibodies, are you a killer person? She says no. So she tries a different manifestation, and Louise talks about how she felt a river of water pushing out those cancer cells. It's the same with manifesting wealth or anything like that. To get in that state, you have to really understand who you are. Manifest something from who you are, from your point, from your perspective. That's what will make it work. It doesn't make sense to manifest something when that's not the type of person you are.
I continued speaking at the meetings for quite some time. It was wonderful training because it taught me how to think on my feet. Allow yourself to accept good, whether you think you deserve it or not. I've discussed how believing that we are not deserving is our unwillingness to accept good in our lives. It's what stops us from having what we want. How could we create anything good for ourselves if we think we don't deserve to have good? Think about the laws of deserving in your home. Did you feel good enough, smart enough, tall enough, pretty enough, whatever? And what do you have to live for? You know you are here for a reason, and it's not just to buy a new car every few years. What are you willing to do to fulfill yourself? Are you willing to do affirmations, visualizations, treatments? Are you willing to forgive? Are you willing to meditate? How much mental effort are you willing to exert to change your life and make it the life you want? Number 6, loving yourself means supporting yourself. Reach out to friends and allow them to help you. You really are being strong when you ask for help when you need it. So many of you have learned to be so self-reliant and self-sufficient. You can't ask for help because your ego won't let you. Instead of trying to do it all yourself and then getting angry at yourself because you can't make it, try asking for help next time. There are support groups in every city. There are 12-step programs for almost every problem. And in some areas, there are healing circles and church-affiliated organizations. If you can't find what you want, you can start your own group. It's not as scary as you might think. Gather together 2 or 3 friends who have the same issues that you have, and set up a few guidelines to follow. Have a book to study or tapes to listen to. If you do it with love in your heart, your little group will grow. People will be attracted like a magnet. Don't worry if it starts to grow and your meeting space gets too small. The universe always provides. If you don't know what to do, write my office, and we'll send you guidelines on how to conduct a little group. You really can be there for each other. I started the hayride in Los Angeles in 1985 with 6 men with AIDS in my living room. We didn't know what we were going to do about this intense crisis. I told them we weren't going to sit around playing Ain't It Awful, because we already knew that. We did what we could on a positive level to support each other. We're still meeting today, and we have about 200 people coming every Wednesday night to West Hollywood Park. It's an extraordinary group for people with AIDS, and everybody is welcome. People come from all over the world to see how this group functions and because they feel supported. It's not only me, it's the group. Everyone contributes to making it effective. We meditate and do visualizations, we network and share information about alternative therapies and the latest medical methods. There are energy tables at one end of the room where people can lie down and others share healing energies by laying on hands or praying for them. We have Science of Mind practitioners they can talk to. At the end, we sing and hug one another. We want people to go out feeling better than when they came in. And sometimes people receive a positive lift that lasts for several days. Support groups have become the new social form, and they are very effectual tools in this complex day and age. Many New Thought churches, such as Unity and Religious Science, have ongoing weekly support groups. Many groups are listed in New Age magazines and newspapers. Networking is so important. It sparks you and gets you going. I suggest that people who have similar ideas share time with one another on a regular basis. When people work together on a common goal, they bring their pain, confusion, anger, or whatever, and come together, not to moan, but to find a way to go beyond, to rise above, and to grow up in a way. If you are very dedicated, very self-disciplined, and very spiritual, you can do a lot of work by yourself on yourself. When you are with a group of people doing the same thing, you can make quantum leaps because you learn from one another. Every single person in the group is a teacher. So if you have issues that need working on, I would suggest, if possible, that you get into a group of some sort where you can work them through. Number 7, love your negatives. They are all part of your creation, just as we are all part of God's creation. The intelligence that created us doesn't hate us because we make mistakes or get angry at our children. This intelligence knows that we are doing the best we can and loves all of its creation as we can love ours.
Hello everyone. I hope you enjoyed that amazing meditation by Louise Hayes, and one thing that I really love about that is she breaks it down so simply. It's really coming down to visualizing something from this perspective of who you are and where you are right now. So you don't want to make up something that has nothing to do with you. Like if I'm a laid back, relaxed person, I don't want to manifest something where I'm in a nervous state. If I'm nervous, it'd be kind of hard to see myself as laid back. If I'm trying to be healthy, or if I'm trying to attract wealth, I want to look at it from the perspective of who I am. How would I be spending that money? Wouldn't make sense necessarily for me to say, oh, I'm going to go out and buy fancy cars if I don't care about that. So really examine who you are as a person, and then allow your visualizations and meditation to reflect that. So if you enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe. And thank you so much. I will see you in the next video.